And we're off. Alright, folks, let me just jump in here, make sure everything's working as expected. So do this, got a link for that. See how long this takes. Fire up the music while we're doing that. Playing in one place. One of the things I actually think about, what's up, is Spotify lets you control different different machines. Let's pull this out. Or like I can get on my phone and have my phone talk to my computer, which is playing, and control what's happening there, which is cool. I just want to see the video stream here go on for a second. Again, I don't have a capture card set up yet, so everything is very slow. I'm also running an rsync process on my machine right now. That is chewing up some CPU as well. So things are going to be kind of boggy for a bit. Hopefully we can see some stream here in a second. Oh, it says offline. That seems not right. Let's see if right here it comes back to life. OBS thinks I'm streaming. There's a live icon. Hey! There we go. Cool. Alright, so we're streaming. Oops, just close that. Now up here. There we go. Alright, so last time we got set up with some JSON files, specifically an example file for the text snippet and a schema for the text snippet. And we also set up, so on the desktop, HubInit. By the way, I love the name HubInit since it's the Hub initiative, but an init is like to start something initialized in computers. So HubInit is initializing the initiative. That's fun. So in the README, I think is where we put the so validator is JSON validate. Watch me do scripts for Python. Watch me do. Set route. Yeah, it didn't. Looks like I didn't put in. Oops. Ah. What do we do? Oh, there we go. Desktop, HubInit. Yep, computer's very slow right now. So in validators, we're gonna put the script, the validation script. Not there. Or the watch me script, the one that actually watches for changes. That's in here. Yeah. So we're going to CD into JSON schemas. Going to run that. Since we're here, that one. So, oh, I gotta be in the Python environment. Source, then activate. Okay, now I'm in the Python environment. So now if I go JSON schemas, now I'm in validator, validation watcher. So what that'll tell us is hopefully, oh yeah, we got it set up, so it's just right here. Pull that down just a little bit. So it's just below oxygen. But now if we make that a 7, save the file, we should see a failure here. There you go, failed 1 errors. Bring it back. There you go, nice. And this hash is just letting us see when things change. So if we save a file, we see a failed error, then save it with another failure, you'll see the hash change, just so you can see that something's actually changed. I should put the date there too, or date timestamp there too, just to make it easier to see. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that. Oops, you'll see, I'm guessing. No, I did a validation down. Validators. Down. There we go. Runtime. Encoding runtime. Print. Do this. So we're getting a new string here. Let's go to format. We're going to do run at time. With that thing. Another 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 prints. I'm going to do this, this. I guess we need to do that same thing right here. Oops. Go up, back into JSON schemas. Validator. Alright, see if it runs. Let's do this. Yeah, so now we've got a timestamp as well as a hash, so that'll just give us some things to see the change. Yeah, 50, and then change 2. Yeah, so I just want something big changing there. There's other ways you could do that. You could like throw a random. Yeah, because like it's all the same thing, so it'd actually be interesting to build like just a random blocks so that you just see stuff moving. It's a little bit out of scope of this though. Anyways, so here's some other things I was thinking about for this text snippet, and this is almost certainly scope creep. Or it is scope creep. I just got to figure out if it's worth doing or not. I don't think it's going to be. But what I was thinking was adding photos and adding video, but I'm explicitly not going to do those as I've been thinking about it. But what I do want to have is a version in a language. And so the text snippet itself, text and tags are fine. And then I think maybe a link is fine. But there's nothing, because there's nothing. Well, so go back and forth on that, because that's going to make the display harder. And so again, because there's versions of this stuff, we can add that later. And I just want to get the first one off the ground. So trying to keep it, or the goal here is to keep it as simple as possible. So we're going to drop the link. I do want to have tags, and then the text snippet itself, and then I need a version language. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave it at that. So let me do this. Formats. Ooh, okay, yeah, version. And also we need a timestamp. Of when it was created. So right now I've got so here's the schema. which is required. Here's the required fields, which basically every field's going to be required. Or every key is going to be required. And then here's the properties of them all. So from hub ID and the ID, should this be content ID instead of this ID? No, it's the ID of the thing. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Leave that there for now. Yeah, everything. It's just going to be the ID, and that like everything's going to have an ID. And the ID is always going to be a UUID, universally unique ID, universal unique ID. So now what we want to add is version. PPRS2V. And so what we're going to see, I'm going to bring this back up and down. Version. Here's where I need to get ID text. This actually should be type string. Aha! We're gonna test that in a second. Oh, you know what I should do? Hang on. I'm doing this wrong. We're gonna test first. Test-driven development, folks. So how am I going to do this? Actually, what is the right way to do this? I mean, it's going to fail, but what we want to see is what? Validators, going to validators. Okay, so that's testing that one. So now what I need to do, because what's going to happen here, so here's where I goofed. This shouldn't have been allowed. I don't know if there's a way to test a schema. JSON validate JSON schema. I'm sure we could actually build a schema that would do that. There's a JSON filter here. Document is invalid JSON. Document is invalid JSON. Schema is valid according to draft 07. But it shouldn't be, because that shouldn't be there. At least I don't think it is. What's this field? Should not have additional properties. Yeah, see. So let's do this. Invalid. Yeah, it should be an integer. Yeah, so this shouldn't text that, like that shouldn't be allowed to be there. So how do we want to test for that? All right, let's do this. Let's make another file here. No, let's keep it simple for now. Test. Problem. problems. That's not going to be the best name in that. But so what do we want to do? No, I'm not going to do that right now. That's just adding more like those tests aren't worth it at the moment. But what is going to prove useful? Except I do want to automate that. Yep, we're gonna dig into it a little bit. I think it will go slower, but it's gonna be helpful. Well, it's the most safe way to do it. So we're gonna do it that way. Oops, look at that. Yeah, there you go. Tests design problems. Just gonna do that for now. We'll come up with a better name in a minute. And then the other thing that we're gonna want to do based on schemas. Snippet. So we're going to call this snippets. Bit, fragment, morsel, smidgen, part, because it's kind of like a tweet. Anything? Sure, Twitter. Oh, there you go. Twitter and tweet's a good name. It really is. Now I'm just trying to move stuff around to where it's going to be a little easier to deal with. And we're at the point where we're expanding the tree here a little bit. So, oh, actually, that's not going to be there anymore, is it? Yep, snippet. There you go. So let's put these in here. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Good. We're going to call this just snippet.json. Snippet schema. JSON. Okay, that's better. And then, so, oh, change the names up there. Look at that, good for them. The, what was I going to say? So I need to do the validation. No, I need to do, so that's the watcher. So now to go back into this, because these files have moved into snippet. Snippet schema. Oops. Come on. Right. It's all right. Great, I broke something. I didn't read the error message. I can run from here, right? Line 39, 39. What happened on 39? What's it saying? Expected indentation block. Oh, goodness. Oh, there we go. String takes the most one argument. Okay, my rsync process finished, which is nice. JSON validator. Oh, what did it do? Okay, line 41. That's run runtime string. Oh, line 51. Okay. Right, this worked just a second ago. String takes most one argument to given. Line 41. But get reset hard JSON. Actually, do this. Get diff JSON validator. What changed? Those two things worked. Those paths changed. Why isn't it working? I know why it's not working. Because I didn't do this. Let me do this. Well, tap with it. Is that gonna work? And yes, I said to heck with it because I'm trying to stay kid friendly. Oh, it's not pointing to the right place anymore. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. This is the fun part of moving stuff around when you're getting in the very early stages of something. I think there was a recursive flag. Watch me do help. Version tricks. Auto restart tricks. I really thought that was a recursive. Maybe there is a recursive. Here's a recursive, it's just not listed in the help. Okay, that's fine. It's working. We'll just put in that we move those. Desktop, Hubnet. You know what I never did? Never got my music going. Oh, I did, I just turned it all the way down. Then activate, get the Python environment going. There we go. Just realized that's slightly off the screen. There we go. Yeah, I actually really want to make one of the ones that does just random ups and downs, or like blocks somehow. We'll do that at some point. now what we can do, all that was in service of setting up a specific directory for this so that we can do errors. I'm going to do at least one error just to start. So we'll do save as. Let's make a directory for them. No text. See, yeah, this is where it's going to get, because I can make a tremendous number of these error cases that I just don't know the value of right now. I'm going to get one in just to have one. Just so I've got the template for them. What is that? Control D? Oh, that's something the editor does. Look at that. Nope. Yes. That's like subtabs in there. Okay. Weird. So that's on the point. I was trying to go down, which is Control D. Oh, sorry, Command D was what did those things. Interesting. Control D, down. So def tests error with no text. So just gonna copy some of these. Oh, I'm also going to need to put these like a. Let's do this while we're at it. Global root dir equals that. So just make sure this is still working, so that's working. Root dir. Still working? Still working. Good. Clear out the JSON there. Whoops. We're going to put in those placeholders to format, which is add root dir. Make sure that works. That works. Actually, now I can do this. Jump up to 25, Y to Y to grab them. Go down to 38, 38. Paste. Delete 2. Whoops. Delete 2. Uh-oh. There you go. Everybody still alive? Yes. So now errors. What do we call it? Oops, I'm trying to see up top. No, yeah. Snippet, error, no. There we go, it's up here. Text. And then probably a way to deal with this too. So this should blow up and fail. I want it to fail in one way, but not in this way. Failed failed validating required in schema. Yeah, on instance that. Yeah, so it's missing the required text. We also should do this. Response equals validate for that. Assert true. Does that work? Run 2 tests, 1 failed. Okay, how do we do this? JSON schema, JSON schema pi validator. That's what we're in right now. It's a node validator. I didn't have a Python version of this. One second, I'm gonna turn on the fan. Oops, I'm just gonna throw my phone off. Desk. So what I'm looking to do is create a test that, so go to, oops, there we go. Python unit tests, Let me just see what's in the unit test. Yep, 3. Where are the assertions? What's the assertion methods? There you go. Equal, not equal, true, false, is not. So we want is not none. That's what we want. Oops. Is not none. Because none, well, that should have happened. That should work. And 2 tests failed. Well, why did that fail? Response failed. Oh, because it's response validate in section. Oh, okay, because it's throwing. So validate is actually raising an exception. Crap. So this is a try. This is where I'm not actually sure how this works. Exception. Python try. Except. So a bunch of these. Try. Except. Okay, so that did that. Local very response reference before assignment. Ran 3 tests. So ran 3 tests. Okay, so how do you catch that? Process passed equals true. What about this? We're going to make process passed. Whoops. So false. And down here, self assert false, process passed. Ah! Oh. FAL-SE. There we go. Ran 3 tests. Oh, wait a second. Why is that saying 3 tests? Oh. Because it's not about how many subtests are in here, it's how many this level tests. So you can do 1,000,000 of those in there. And then, okay, so that's good. Now we just need to make sure there's got to be a better way to do this part, but that's okay. So now what we need to do is just verify that if it actually has text, this should actually crash, right? True is not false. So now we're testing that an error actually happens, which is, oh, but we're not, well, yeah, there could be other errors or whatever, but this is good enough for now. And also, I'm not going to mess with this too much right now. So the other thing, this should actually fail. By fail, I mean pass, because this will pass here and then fail the reverse test. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that right now. That's a little much. Over time, they'll get added, but that's not worth the investment at the moment. So that's in a failure state. Whoops. But it shouldn't be. Wait, what's going on? Failure's 1. It's not false. Oh, right. Because that's the bad one. This should be okay. There we go. All right. Let me just add a note to README about that. There you go. All right. Back in business. And we're going to get our snippet. And now we're actually going to get to what we were doing, which is adding a version. So, version version. Right, so that fails because we don't have a version in here. Version. Oh, that's invalid JSON. So that's okay, but what we want to do is set this to type. Whoops. Type array. With, it needs to have exactly 3 things in it. So that's going to fail because we don't have 3 items in it. We'll do this. We're going to do 1, 1. Good. So this is going to be, I should do. Let's throw readme over Sublime Text. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, I still need to look and see why it's making all these weird colors for me. I mean, I'm sure it does that. It's always done that. I've just never noticed because it's been. But actually, I don't know if it's always done that because the color scheme I had may not have done that. You know what it should do? It's actually called a schema version. Schema version. Oops. Sometimes Sublime Text doesn't copy out. It's kind of annoying. Sublime Text, Oxygen, whatever this application is. So now we're also going to go back here. We're going to go to Hub, Formats, Schema version. We want to make sure that everything's using the same kind of nomenclature. Back over here. Failed. Schema version, schema version. Hooray, why did that work? Oh, that's right, because it's required. This needs to be here. After pass. Should have passed. Rather than required with schema. Did not catch it. It's not updated. Oh, there we go. Somehow I jacked it down a little bit. It was not picking up changes. Water's better. All right, let's make some progress. Schema version 1, 2, 3. Just to verify this, that should fail. Ooh, it wouldn't fail. Why didn't that fail? Items. That's why. See, I want to alphabetize those. Whoops. Well, whatever. It's fine. Yes, and that's not alphabetized. So items. There we go. Not length. There we go. There's the. Over there. So schema version, major minor number, and then also we want to make sure that inside items type is on schema integer is min max type integer. Integer. Oh, this is how to do it without leading zeros. That's okay. Well, no, might as well do it. We got it. Oh, additional property. Aha. Additional property is false. Schema version type array. Properties tags, schema version. I think these should all have additional properties false on them, actually. Items. Works on null is optional as well too. Okay. Oh, it has to be able to be 0 because the whatever. It's just gonna be an integer. Type integer. I was ever thinking that. So now, oops, actually should have passed. Yep. But now if we put an A in here, that should fail. Yep, type integer. Good. Here are additional properties comes into play. These are only for objects. I mean, you can put it anywhere because there's not that type of validation here, but I think it's only for objects. Okay, so there's our versions. So this is actually schema. Well, right now it's 0. 0, 1, 0. They're still in play. Add version number. Lost in journality. Yeah, I'm just I'm updating some JSON schemas that I'm using for basically a new social media network that I'm playing around with or trying to make happen actually. But I'm just setting up the communication it's going to be done over JSONs. So these will be the JSONs that fire back and forth for something that's like a snippet or for like a tweet. And so this is the format of the JSON, and I'm building the schema to make sure that they're really well validated and known or structured, basically. So going through just adding the rest of the schema things, the two other things I'm going to add are a language and a timestamp. So, and some of the stuff I've just been messing around with trying to get my structure set up. So I'm kind of starting to get on a roll a little bit now because I've got the basic framework underneath and the foundation in place. So that's what we're doing today. Been about 50 minutes. So next up, timestamp, which is just going to be an integer. Cool. So now what we want to do is go to timestamp. And so we're going to put this up here, which is going to be required. Timestamp, which this will fail, which we come back over here. Whoops, why did it fail? There it goes. That's fine, because we want to go ahead and add this down here too. So timestamp. Which is going to be type integer. We're going to spell right, we think. And then put a comma there, close the JSON. Still going to fail because it's not in there. Yep. But then if we just do this, that should work. There we go. So for the timestamps, what we're going to do is this date time dash date. Nope. CLI date, there we go. ISO prompt. So I'm just looking through my notes here to see, I've got there's a timestamp that I want to do that's basically just the Unix timestamp. Nope. I can't remember what it is. Come on, browser, go. Date time seconds. Unix. Yeah, epoch seconds. So instead of trying to do time zones, we're just going to do epoch seconds, which is going to let plus S. That should work. Stop working. The date node page should be changed from seconds UTC to seconds since epoch. Because I missed it in there. Wait, what did I say? I don't understand what the difference is between those two. Hang on a second. Oh, since the epoch. I gotcha. Yeah, so we're going to do epoch seconds, which is going to be look like that. So that is the that's the number of seconds since whatever 1970 Greenwich Mean Time midnight January 1st to now. And what that lets us do is not have to deal with time zones, because each client can deal with itself just based off that, which will make life easier by a lot. If you haven't seen the computer file video on time zones, I think it's a computer file. The problem with time zones, go watch that one. That one's good. Not a good way to send links, do I? Oh, yeah, I can just put a link in chat, right? I'm still new to this. Let's see if this works. There you go. So that gives us that. We want to make a note in timestamps. Time sense. Then reduced by dates. What was it? I actually like this and start this one. Add it to my notes. The second date plus percentage sign S plus percentage sign S. I know that's in my notes somewhere, but it's not in the pages that I just looked at, so. We're gonna add it there. And here, because I've got, I don't worry about cleaning this up right now. I'm going to move all those into the same thing if I really want to for my notes. However, let's see. There we go. I knew it was in here somewhere. Oh, wow. Let's do the same thing, right? But yeah, crazy. Just add that in there. There you go. Yeah, so just making notes as I go to have a chance to keep up with them. Where did Datas go? There we go. All right, so that should have gotten the date working. For the timestamp working, yep, timestamp working. Let's come down here, go back to our watcher, save, we should see okay. See, I can't see that, I can't tell it changed. There it goes. We'll just go ahead and commit that. Timestamp. Now we're going to do version. All right, so we got timestamp. Sorry, version, we got version. Add language. All right. HI, The idea here is that we can actually have some, whoops, nope, it's not that. All right. Some capability potentially of reading the language and then helping for automatic translations. String. Hello, Dakota Killer. Let's see. ASCII language. Where are the language types? Computer language types? What are we looking for? Nope, that's good programming languages. Language codes, there we go. ISO 639. Incredibly, it didn't go to the Wikipedia page first. There we go. There's the Wikipedia page, which I'm guessing is faster than this. Oh, right to left languages, left to right languages. Aha. All right, let's look at the language localization. Language translation activity. Okay, this is a lot. Localization versus localization. I'll read this at some point. So this is really what we want to see. Is it always examples of language type? Oh, here we go. For example, the Internet standardization specifies both 2- and 3-letter codes represent languages and standards. So this is what I'm looking for. I want to see if we can set a pattern on this for the languages, and it sounds like maybe we can. Codes for languages, part 1, Alpha 2 code is the first part of language, international part 1 covers the international. There are 184 2-letter codes of December 2018. As there are codes representing language, part 2. Alpha 3 code is the second part of the ISO 609 standard. Those codes represent native languages. The 3 codes given for each language in this part of the standard referred to as Alpha 3 codes. 487. Library of Congress is registration authority. Library of Congress receives these changes. So does this mean that we can use 3-letter codes or 2-letter codes? It sounds like we can just use a 3-letter code. I'm going to talk to some language people about that, but it sounds like that's what we got going on. Okay, so cool. So we can make this max length LNGTH. I spell that wrong frequently. Just 3 and length. Also 3. This should choke. Ooh, looking like 8 different ways. Sounds like I missed a comma somewhere. Oh, bags? No, here we go. Ah, there we go. So that's a different kind of failure. Good. So now we should see the snippet. Language right here. I'm guessing ENG is for English. And okay, there we go, we're past. All right. So just see if ENG really is English, just for the example to keep it right. ABCD. Oh, they don't put English in here. That's hysterical. All right, so now where do we actually look up all the codes? Full lists of codes. Ooh, it has ancient languages too? Uh-oh. My mouse just died. Oh, there it goes. We're live. English, old English. Creole Pigeons English. There's English. English middle. I wonder where English Great Britain English is. Alright, we'll look and see if that's the right way to do it or if we need to do 2 letter codes. But anyways, that should do it. Alright, is there anything else to do here? So I think that's going to be the first. Yeah, so the idea of the thing, the idea of the hub that it's coming from, the language it's in, 0 or more tags. Let me just make sure that really does work. The array has to be there, but the array can be empty. Yes. Text can't be empty. Failed, good. Timestamp has to be a number. There's probably a way to put that over or greater than some number. But whatever, that's fine. Schema version. Yeah, so I think that's going to be it. So it's got an ID, timestamp, schema version. Yeah, and then text. I was thinking about putting in links, but I'm going to not do that. And I'm not going to do photos, I'm not going to do videos. Do I want to do links though, or should it have a link? Yeah, it's going to have 1 link. All right. So if you do 1 link, the question is then you do 2 links. Or multiple links. No, it's going to be 1-to-1. All right. Got to pick something somewhere. So we're going to do a link. We're going to do a link. Type. It's going to be a string. Now the question is, should these always be anything? No. But they do have to have at least 1. No, it can be empty. Oh, well, so I need to do empty or null. Multiple types, integer or null. Array of types can be used in an item which might map multiple times, for example. Okay, so that should be string or null. Null. There's null in here. I thought I had a better. Works with null as an option as well. Yeah, so types, integer or null. Okay, so it'll be string or null. All right, that failed, which is good because we don't have the link in there. So now link can be null. This should pass. There we go. It can't. Oh, it should make it not be able to be empty. That's interesting. How do you make it null and not be? So is it Do you just add a min length to it? On instance length. So as long as there's one character in there, does it pass? It passes. So no characters, fails, good, null should be okay. I like null versus empty string. Yep, there you go. Cool. Language. So those have regular expressions which force them to be UIDs. That it has to be 3 characters. This could be null or some number of characters. Tags has to exist. Let me just see how. Oh. What was text? I had something. This is type string. The pattern made it go anyways. Text. Timestamp schema version. That's it. That's the first one. There's our first payload. Cool. Oh, you know what? I didn't have the mic on this entire time. No, not the right mic. That's gonna be awful. Sorry about that. Too late now. It'll be interesting to see how that did. I'll have to make sure, I'll have to set up a note for that or something. Alright, I think that's going to be it for tonight. No, actually, the one thing I'm going to do, now I'm just going to play around, so this is not messing with the hub stuff. This is just going to be, oh, this is a new commit. Let's go get it on desktop just so we can make sure we see what's going on. Yep. Add language and link. So the other thing I'm going to do is ASCII block character. So I want to get something. Ooh, yeah, look at all these. So now what we're going to do, I just want to make a little random output of shapes down here to make it easier to see when things change. And so hopefully, that's crazy. 219. That's amazing. Can I just copy that? Nope. There we go. Did it work? Cool. Python random. I don't think I've got a note on that yet. Python random. Whoops. Ooh, what was that? All right, and yes, I know. Deleted everywhere. Figure out the string. Oh, okay, so we should be able to do this. So we need to import random. Okay, so system random choice, random set. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Random string is gonna eat, so I'm looking on this line right here, and yes, I can copy and paste it, but I like kind of getting it in my head. So we're gonna take an empty string, or we're gonna join on nothing, so there's no space between what we join. And we're gonna go to random, system random, which helps ensure that like it's a really good solid random, like cryptographically nice random instead of just a general one. I only have a vaguest idea what that really means. And then choice, it looks like we need to do an array of this and this. For, I'm guessing that's, I don't know if it's a straight variable, if that matters like it's I or if that does anything different. But range 20. Let's see if we got any of that right. Nope. No, I think a Python set. I like trying to go to the docs instead of W3 School sometimes just to see if I can burn through it. However, I didn't give me that really quick, so we're gonna go here. I should turn on the mic since I'm still going. Why not turn on the mic? All right, let's see what this does. Actually, no, I'm going to keep it consistent. So, okay, so set is that. I've used Python enough to know the difference between sets and lists. I think this is a list. Whoops, look at that. Stop doing that. That hotkey doesn't work as good in Code Runner. Whoops. Does that work? No. Set object is not scriptable. Alright, now we're just going to copy and paste some stuff. Random set. So we're going to put string, random set. What's that going to do? Okay, that's working. So now how do I replace random set with our beloved block character? Come on, can look it up. Okay. Does that work? No. What's that? Still feels like it should be a list or a dictionary or whatever these things are. I would call it an array. I think it's all of them. Oh, well, you know, I wonder what this is going to do. The other one looked just like an empty string. There you go. Can you just random? Is that faster? Let's see. I did. Computer's getting slow again. Weird. I expected these to show purple since I've been to them before. Or I thought I've been to them before, anyways. Oh, you just do random, no choice. Let's see if that's faster, because we don't need these to be particularly secure. Cool. And so let's grab one other ASCII thing, like a halfway thing. Ooh, oh neat, we can do 3 of them. Copy that. Alright, get it, copy that. This one does act just kind of as like a signature to see that things have moved. Oh, weird, that's not all the way up. Huh? I thought it was full. Oh. Huh, weird. Yeah, the idea is that it'll be easy to see that this this pattern changes, so it'll give a real visual striking jump when we do an update here. So validators, JSON validator, import random. Down. Random string. So we actually can probably do this. Paste those in there, is that gonna work? Not like that, it's not. Oh, it's gonna undo everything, isn't it? No, okay, cool. See if I can figure out how to copy and paste, folks. There you go. Cool. Okay, so now we should be able to see. We'll just run this a couple times to check it. Again, this is just setting up to make it easier to see what's going on. Whatever, so we take this out, it'll blow up, and there's a pattern for us, and we know it's failed, so now if we put this in, it's really obvious that it changed. And if we do this again, it's really obvious that it changed. I'm actually going to flip it though, so that the randomness shows up first, and then the timestamp. Which we can do right here. And yes, I know that I could absolutely make that as a separate string instead of duplicating it. But that's not for right now. Pardon me. JSON, validator, oxygen. There's that. Whoops. Oh yeah. This is gonna fail. And then let's do another failure. Just so we can watch it. Oops, save. Yeah, so it moves around a little bit. Let's just see what's going on. 0, 1, no, we'll do 2, 0. How about that, since we got that in there? Cool. I like that. We're going to keep that piece of code. We don't need that. We don't need that. That. There's a random string. Cool. Python. Random string of blocks. There we go. Yeah, that. Random block. Dates. There we go. Good enough for now. And yes, I know I'm checking the version over there. That's fine. I also like this. We're going to hang on to this one. So there's that. All right, cool. All right, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Another time, about an hour and a half, which is good. So we'll check it out and see y'all next time. Have a good one. Bye.